Ombas! Vega! Sir Daor.
Spoiler alert, House of the Dragon Season 2's showrunner, Condal, has been surprising viewers with some bizarre combinations. The second season of House of the Dragon is focusing on some of the most complex couples in the show, from Criston Cole's unexpected relationship with Queen Alicent to Alicent's own unexpected reunion with Queen Rhaenyra in Episode 3. This week's release focuses on a pairing that has previously prompted a lot of comparisons. House of the Dragon investigates the relationship between two of Westeros' most dangerous Targaryens, Prince Daemon Matt Smith and Prince Aemond, the show's most crafty rogue, by contrasting the latter's bloody tactics in the Crownlands with the former's hauntings at Harrenhal.
Harrenhal is a useful morass. It'll keep Daemon well occupied while we strengthen our host.
Welcome to Movie Spy. The Red Dragon and the Gold from Season 2. Episode 4 advances the narratives of both princes while showcasing Aemond's foresight in the Rook's Rest conflict. While attempting to raise an army in the Riverlands, Daemon confronts Ally's Rivers, the Witch of Harrenhal herself, and is left to struggle with nightmares even more intense than those he experienced in Episode 3. Meanwhile, Aemond joins Cole's army as the Greens carry out their opening campaign against Rhaenyra's allies. The Targaryen princes get their own chance to gain power with each mission, but at King's Landing, Aemond's skill at subduing his brother King Aegon II's Tom Glencairn will generally overshadow Daemon's own clumsy attempts at forceful diplomacy. Episode 4 of House of the Dragon shows Aemond and Daemon's tense relationship with the Iron Throne. The most significant resemblance between Aemond and Daemon, being second sons of the Westerosi ruling line, is their alluring closeness to power. Both princes were raised at court in positions that allowed them to witness firsthand the cruel influence of the Iron Throne on characters. However, the older brothers, whom they believed to be either too weak or inept to govern, denied the young men the chance to take the throne. Because of this, the latest episode of House of the Dragon explores more in depth how each prince handles the annoying realities of their position by making each Targaryen face the royals who are now in their way. Aemond subverts his brother to establish his own power in the Red Keep, while Daemon's visions in the Riverlands force him to deal with his mixed emotions over Rhaenyra's succession. In the opening of House of the Dragon Season 2, Episode 4, Rhaenyra accuses Daemon of using her to hold onto the throne. However, Episode 4 reveals more about Daemon's actual sentiments for his wife and niece. Daemon is so furious when he sees a young Rhaenyra Millie Alcock making fun of him that he beheads the ghost on the spur of the moment. However, Daemon's constant remorse soon overcomes whatever anger he may have towards Rhaenyra for dethroning him as heir. Following Daemon's hallucination of Lena, the prince's meeting with the Blackwoods is derailed, demonstrating how Daemon's shame is preventing him from achieving his objectives and prompting Daemon to falter at the thought of his second wife. Conversely, Aemond has never been more assured during a war council. His interactions with Aegon's small council highlight how much more competent he is than his brother at directing the realm's strategy, highlighting the prominence Aemond has attained at Aegon's court. Aegon's ambition to openly confront Harrenhal is immediately subdued by Mitchell's character, who is only too happy to back Cole's attack on Rook's Rest. When Aegon objects, Aemond humiliates his brother by challenging him to a match of fluent High Valyrian, a feat that Aegon is utterly unable to duplicate. House of the Dragon's Aemond has never felt more concentrated than he does in this episode. In contrast to Daemon's distracted thoughts and distracting ghosts, this allows this royal spare to take a more direct approach against his brother than Daemon has ever amused himself with. The most recent episode of House of the Dragon establishes Aemond as the more determined Targaryen prince. In House of the Dragon Season 1, Aemond's readiness to oppose his brother on the tiny council marks a significant shift from even Daemon's earlier years, illuminating the disparities between the two most aggressive sons of House Targaryen. As the Lord Commander of the City Watch, Daemon frequently encounters opposition to his audacious decisions from Viserys' Paddy Considine advisors, particularly Otto Hightower Rhys Ifans. But because of his strong friendship with Sir Criston Cole, Aemond is able to deliberately undermine his brother's authority by removing him from the decision-making process. This sensible response to Aemond's inferior status precedes his desire to exact direct retribution on Aegon, and is more effective than Daemon's method of handling his frustrations in Season 1, which primarily consisted of making fun of Viserys' stillborn kid in a flea-bottom bar. This week's episode features Aegon joining the fight at Rook's Rest because he is so enraged by his brother's posturing that he finally takes advantage of the chance to exact retribution. Although House of the Dragon has previously hinted at Aemond's intention to potentially usurp his brother, most notably when Aemond consented to Aegon's reluctance to take the throne in Season 1, Episode 9, the Green Council, Rook's Rest is the first instance in which Aemond openly criticizes his brother. Aemond waits to enter the battle until Aegon is already facing off against Rhaenys Eve Best and her dragon, Meleys. Then, he takes advantage of his brother's weakness to douse both of his adversaries in dragonfire. Aemond is eventually victorious in the battle after Aegon and Sunfire fall into the forest in a cloud of fire and smoke. It's unclear from the episode's climactic climax if Aemond kills his brother, but the fact that he fights Aegon directly shows how much more untamed Aemond is than the show portrays Daemon. Though Daemon never agreed to wage war against his own brother, he and Viserys did have conflicts. He flees to Dragonstone and Pentos in Season 1 after Viserys confronts him and takes away his position at court. As Alice Rivers notes, he stays at Harrenhal in order to be away from Rhaenyra. However, Aemond uses the current conflict to advance his own claim to the throne, solidifying his status as the more dangerous prince, while Daemon of the House of the Dragon buries his sorrows and difficulties in battles. Thus, the most recent episode of House of the Dragon introduces the Targaryen civil war while also acting as a character study for the show's second sons, while Aemond is using his youth to gain more power in King's Landing than Daemon was able to take from Viserys during times of peace. Daemon is tormented by visions of a throne he can never fully grasp and the ghosts of his past. Similar to how Daemon's tenuous hold on the Riverlands is compared with Aemond's definitive blow to his hated elder brother, only time will tell if Aemond's risk will pay off in the end, or if he survives long enough to acquire his own demons.